Ronin's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes, where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews, to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews, to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steam out on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being American, and YouTuber Ronin, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Reserved Seats. Tonight, we control the vertical, we control the horizontal. I want to say hello to everyone currently joining us on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I want to say hello to a few people who have joined us here in the live chat. First up, Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's kind of clear. Bringing the Geeky Geezers Raid, channel member, Netters Network. Channel member, JPRPH1. Right. My guest is waiting patiently backstage, so I'm going to bring him on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast, Enigma Severus.
Hey, so awesome to be here.
Right on. I could take the time out of your very busy schedule, of course, globe trotting, treasure hunting, No?
Pretty
Okay.
much.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I am actually discovering a lot of things in my yard. So, yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty much, yeah. But,
Yeah, you are doing some, you are at present doing some work around here, some home improvements, one would say.
So, I want to say about 2.5 years ago, have you ever you've eaten plenty of food, right? And
Yes.
at some point in your life, you're like, I need to start cleaning this up. So you're just you put on a pair of pants and you're just like, this is not working anymore.
No.
It's just like, I got to fix this. So it was about 2.5 years ago. And, physically, me personally, I don't see it. It's like I see myself every day. So I'm like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. And so, yeah, about 2.5 years ago, I started doing consistent workouts where it was an everyday thing. And so when I was able to actually purchase my house, this is the first one I was ever able to get, there's no location to actually work out. There's nothing. And so not to be rude for the previous owners, but there was a little bit of neglect for the yard. So I'm actually trying to put an entire retaining wall in the back of my house to where I can level out the backyard and make it look presentable, but also have plenty more space to enjoy. So that's been my workout for a good couple months.
I do want to say hello to the Clue Studio and host of Geeky Geezers, Aged Boomer.
I'm telling Aged Boomer, my games are inspired by him and their discussion they just had a minute ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't consider myself an expert in the gaming industry at present, but it does seem to me to be taking a downhill turn. Sony has definitely shot themselves in the foot. Not only in basically kind of pulling a Best Buy and are no longer going with physical media, they're also taking down a lot of the streaming uh, content that they have because they're wrapped up in the whole Studio Canal thing in the UK, where they just took 551 films off of Sony PlayStation.
Now,
Just gone.
do you personally have one?
I not a 5. I have one of the old. I think I have like a PlayStation 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Haven't played it in years. It stopped working, and I just kind of let it go. I have an Xbox as well. Also doesn't work. So that's why I said I've been kind of out of this whole gaming thing for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was most with me. It was mostly when really should have been dating, starting family, and just staying home and playing video games.
Well, so I can remember.
Sad.
I'm not sure if this.
I'm okay. Sorry. I'm okay. I'm okay.
We will give you an online.
I am okay. All right. All right.
This is why we
I'm
want
back.
to talk for who.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I remember when I was studying, I was they were promoting the PlayStation 3 hard, and I think it was with one of the new Spider-Mans that was coming out as well. I could be wrong about that because I never went in the Sony direction. I was always with Nintendo, and I think it was originally because, when I was younger, we went and visited family members in Boston, and they had an original Nintendo. And so we got hooked on one of the video games, and this was what I was going to show. This is what I usually play on the original Nintendo.
Let me blow you up here. Okay.
Oh yeah, this was for me, this was one of the best games ever. And then of course, you get the Mario with Duck Hunt and the Track Racer, which I don't think I ever did. And then this was the non-common one, was the Mario 2. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I recently actually got these within the last year. And so yeah, I've always gone the Nintendo route. So we got 64. I did that, and then hopefully you're not going to get cited for this one. The Bond game. Did you ever play this? The Bond game was awesome, and then you get all the classic Marios. So you get Mario, then you got the Mario Party, then you got Racing, and then what did I? Oh, and then I actually bought this one, Mario Golf, because I was a big Mario Golf fan. So yeah, I don't know if you'd like this one. This is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Played that one a heck of a lot too, where basically you're going on missions to rescue people.
Right.
But yeah, I forgot. I was going to show you something cool.
Okay.
So this is what Age Boomer was talking about, how it's not piracy or whatnot. So this is what you would normally see in South America. Anytime you're trying to go and purchase a film, they would have these, and they're in little plastic wraps and everything.
Right.
And then this one had come out, and so I ended up grabbing that one.
Uh-huh.
So it's all in Spanish and everything. It was hilarious. But yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg's last Lone Survivor. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, I never went the PlayStation route. So yeah, Sony's digital thing really, I don't have a lot of knowledge with that or how people are going to respond. But I can tell you, a recent study said that about half of the people are going to be coming out of Sony or just discontinuing.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take a gamer to say no. I'm not going to pay $100 for an empty box.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just I don't know what they think they're trying to pull here with this. I can look at it from because I let me mute and shut my fire alarm
Yeah,
off
I was hearing
because we are not actually on fire.
that, but it's beeping at you. It's like, hey.
Okay, now I got to run upstairs and move about my house in the middle of a damn show. And
Oh,
one
you're
thing
good. I'll
that I
entertain.
can't move through anymore because I have so much stuff in it that I can't. So basically, all of my to go back to PlayStation and Xbox and all that for a minute. All of my stuff is basically in the storage room upstairs where I have all of these books and a bunch of DVDs, probably like about half of my DVDs.
Oh my word!
And
You haven't been able
yeah,
to get them displayed yet, have you?
it is way too long, way too late at night, and way too hot to really sort through all of those right now. But yeah. Oh, I didn't fall down the stairs this time. That's good. All
All right.
right. So
Have you ever
yeah,
played this game, Need for Speed Most Wanted?
blow that up. I have not.
Oh my gosh. It's such a good one. Basically, what you get to do is you get to drive around this like fictitious city. It's like in California somewhere, but you get to basically cause mass destruction. Now, you also are doing racing, but for the most part, they give you these missions. You got to go through a 15-player blacklist. Now, the good thing about the video game on this one is the game adjusts the racers according to your personal skill set. So if you're not a good racer, the cars that you're racing against will actually go slow or will actually be competitive until you become more adequate with playing. And then the better you get, the more advanced the car racers are going to be with their talent. And so it's actually a really brilliant game. But you get to drive around, you get a race, you get to cause destruction, and then you have police chasing you. And then you have to change your car. You have to change the paint to it. You can upgrade stuff. So it's a really dynamic game. I've always loved playing that. So that's basically where I've stayed with. So yeah, when when Age Boomer and Troy and others, they're getting and I mean, they have legitimate complaints, but yeah, when they're getting to it, my brain immediately tells me it's just like, well, I have the games I want. At this second, I'm not too concerned about it. But eventually. Were you able to get the fire alarm turned off?
Yes. All right. Clay Studios says we need to boycott subscription models. Even new cars are starting to have subscription packages. Cars?
Really?
Okay. Wow.
Clue's going to need to tell us about that. Hey, Sashi, what's up, man?
Indeed. Yeah, our man from the future, Sashi,
is legendary. I know, isn't Need for Speed Most Wanted awesome? Yeah, the newer version isn't that great. I've actually spoken with a few people. The one of the best places to go and get information on games are the students. I do. I ask a lot of my students, hey, what are some of the better games? And so when I was doing research to get the 360, I had asked a number of my students what they preferred or what they were wanting, and a number of them went with 360 rather than the Cube or something like that. And so, no, I'm sorry, Xbox 10 or something of that nature. And so with all of that, a number of the games have become much less enjoyable A lot of the kids have actually said that they were surprised with some of the previous game setups, and they were actually more intrigued by it. So, what was he saying? Yeah.
It says 2026 cars want you to subscribe for your non-driving features like heated seats.
Huh.
Huh.
That's weird.
Sashi says BMW had a subscription for heated seats. The system is already built in, but you can only access it if you paid a subscription. So you buy the car,
That's such crap. You nickel and dime.
but you still have to. Wow.
Yeah, wouldn't be doing that.
Good Lord. No, that's going to be enough for me.
Honestly, I like older cars. I'm not a new car fan to an extent.
I'm not either. No.
I'd have to go. I really would prefer going with older cars. They're more durable. A lot of them are a lot more reliable. Not to mention the amount of parts and everything are much simpler, easier to restore. And you know how many different people I've met that know how to do tricks to get around specific systems so that the car will actually function properly. I was like, yeah, let's go with the older car.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, the older cars, the older cars, the ones that plow into yours when your car comes to a dead stop all of a sudden in the middle of the road. I literally saw this happen the other day. Happens all the time. It really does. Clue says my 2018 Lexus is just fine. I'll bet. The only electronic in my car is the radio. I don't even have powered windows.
I can remember. So we were going to visit my grandmother, and you remember these, like they didn't weigh this much, but you remember the old Buick box steel cars that were just giants and they weighed a ton, right? Mm-hmm. And so we were going to visit my grandmother, and this is an older generation subdivision. You got a lot of elderly and people who have lived through the 60s and 70s as teens and adults, and so they're getting there, and so we have a lot of older cars out there. And so my dad is doing this turn into the neighborhood to go and visit, and this car was waiting for us to do the turn, and he decides he's going to just go straight ahead out of the place that we're turning into. And so he slams into this older car. And I can tell you right now, within 5 minutes, both cars were gone, driving perfectly fine. And I think only one of them had a dent, and they hit pretty hard. And it was just like, yeah, they're good cars. They didn't have problems. So you're just adding character if you smack that car.
Absolutely. Like in Karate Kid 2. In the novelization, I don't remember if it was in the film, that's how he fixes the dent. Is he in the car, he just chops the fender and fixed. And that's not a joke for the movie. That is literally what you could do. Just bop, back in place.
Yeah, you can pop the thing out. You can smack it, and it'd be doing just fine. Yeah, my dad
car, drive it head on to a train and live.
Yeah, pretty much.
Try that, Dad. No, no.
Walk it off.
Walk it off. No. Walk it off is what happens when you get hit in the head with a lawn dart.
Yeah.
Dad, I didn't hit a lawn dart.
Get run over by the lawn.
Walk that shit off, son. You're good.
Get smacked around.
You see, because the thing is, when we were kids, I have no idea what your childhood was like, Enigma, but okay. I'm sure you can relate to this. You have to understand, when Gen Xers were kids, your parents' cars were tanks. You were left home alone to your own devices.
Yeah.
You could play with toys that could literally kill you. like lawn darts. The thing that I'm surprised they got away with was Weebles.
The Weebles.
Because those damn things were choking hazards. But you want to know why nobody choked on them? Because we weren't stupid enough to swallow one. we survived. You know, we were, as George Carlin would say, tempered on raw sewage. we could survive. You know.
Well, I remember, you know, at 4 or 5 years old, I really want to say this was an early memory of mine. 2, 3 years old, I was already learning how to play marbles, and you know where you would do a circle, you'd have the circle, you'd claim specific marbles, and then the entire point was to aim and shoot the other person's marbles out of the circle. That was the whole game, you know.
Yep.
But it was entertaining. Yeah, 2 or 3 years old, I was already learning how to do that, and it was very understood. Don't eat the marble. That it's not food. We know that, you know.
Play-Doh, on the other hand,
Play-Doh and glue.
that was food. No,
we were talking about that.
Especially when you had the thing that was like the Play-Doh restaurant, where it was like the fast food restaurant, and you could like run it through the thing, and it would, like, the little fries would come out. You know?
Oh yeah,
yummy. You know,
the little cook thing. Yeah,
yeah.
My sister had one of those.
Easy bake ovens.
Oh,
we actually had little ovens.
Yeah, and
because the girl who lived next door, she had an easy bake oven, and she literally would make like these little brownies. And it was like, don't eat that. Oh, hell yeah, I'm eating that. Hell.
So what Clue's bringing up about the silver steel slide, grandmother's neighborhood. Again, this slide, and the amount of playground equipment that they had out there that would potentially injure you. They had the merry-go-round, you know, the steel metal merry-go-round that's sitting out there in the sun. We'd go out there, we'd get on that thing. They had a 20-foot high, and I'm not lying, 20-foot high. You had to get up at least 15 to 20 feet to get to the top of it to slide down that metal thing. And parents trusted you. You were good. They understood. And then you remember that metal, that circular metal jungle gym that they had, where it was just metal bars that were welded together and it looked like the turtle shell shape or something. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, we went on that thing. Falling down and getting hurt was part of it. And like, you know, you were half rubber when you were a kid, so it was okay, you know.
I don't want to ignore the chat. Boomer said it would be funny if those South American DVD commentaries were lifted from YouTube rewatches. Oh yeah,
that would be awesome. Yeah,
as you notice, Nicholson went with the gray tie for this scene. Yeah,
but look, like they would have it in this, and so this is Lone Survivor, and they don't even have it labeled. So what they would do is they would show it to you. They take it out. So then when they take it out, they would show you that it was written on. So like, yeah, it's written on. And then they would slide it into their DVD player and show you how to do the menu and everything. It was just like, yeah, this is but it was like, yeah, we want to see the movie. Let's have it. Yeah, these are old, yes, but I've held on to them.
And hello again to Sashi. We did bring up the subscription models on the cars. Okay. Sashi says this car is based on a Mitsubishi from the 80s, small, lightweight, easy to maintain. My previous car got hit by an 18-wheeler, and I could drive after that. Wow. Clear Studio says Tonka trucks could break your leg. They could.
Yeah,
big ones. Yeah.
I had one of the old metal Tonka trucks, the yellow one, and the back, it was like a Tonka dumpster truck, and you could lift the back up and everything. And basically you were doing all of your little construction things outside in the yard, and you created a dirt pit, and then the parent would be upset at you because it rained and then it'd be a bunch of mud back there. It's like, whoops. Oh well. It'll be okay. We're playing.
Yeah. Connie says we were the feral generation or the latchkey kids. Indeed, I certainly was. Yeah, my car toys from the late 70s had doors that open. Yes. Later removed the open door features for fear of choking.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It says we had the train set, if you put your tongue on a hot track, oh boy.
We had one of those. I think I got one of those for Christmas, one of those little electric tracks. I don't think we ever shocked ourselves, though.
The yellow dump truck.
So who put their tongue on it to figure that out? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. So she says I got an epic beatdown for climbing up a drainage pipe on a 2-story house once. No, that wasn't what I almost got my ass kicked over. I can't say on here though.
So
Because you're like, huh? What were you doing? It wasn't my fault.
we just had dinner. We just had dinner together as a family yesterday because we were celebrating my brother's birthday earlier in the year. And so, you know, it's hard to get together. So anyway, we decided to all celebrate yesterday. And so his wife had actually asked, and she goes, so what's everybody's, you know, what's the worst thing you've done as a kid? Or when I honestly had a hard time thinking of something, but at one point we had convinced my younger sister she was adopted. That was fun. On another occasion, though, I was telling him I did roll a skateboard, and our driveway was huge and it just go downward, and our house was at the bottom. And so I told him I had rolled my skateboard down it and slammed into the garage door. That was another fun occasion. But my brother backed the car out of the garage and slammed into a portion of the house with the car. That was fun. So just fun childhood, man.
So she says I got up to the roof and was giggling to myself while my mom was looking for me. This is funny later. No.
It wasn't funny. Yeah, no, it's enjoyable while they don't know. What you should have done is snuck back in somehow and just pretended you were there the whole time. Would have never figured it out. Oh man. Yeah, no, a lot of fun epic adventures as kids, but I can't believe that they they're sanitizing a lot of the toys, the gaming systems, like like Troy was mentioning. You're going to not have anything, but you're going to be excited about that. And it's like, no, we're not.
No.
No, it's completely going against what America was built for, at least originally. And so, no, not a big fan.
Well, they're too busy trying to turn this into Palestine, street by street.
Yeah, there could be.
And if anybody doesn't get what I mean, look into it because it's happening, folks.
Yeah, and I mean, they've already secluded specific areas. And something that I had mentioned, if you've seen Braveheart. Braveheart's one of the most classics, and so.
Mm-hmm.
Something that the king had said pertaining to William Wallace and the Scots. He said the problem with Scotland is it's full of Scots. And, they giggle at that idea, but they are methodically taking that to heart now and saying, okay, well, if we can't cause the war, then what we'll do is we'll cause the influx and we will cause the distribution. And then we will just push you out of the area. And that's what's happening. And so, yeah.
I'm not going to be pushed out so easy.
Yeah. No, I am quite content with where I'm at, and I'm just leaving that there.
Yep. Which I've not actually seen straight through, but
you haven't? Oh my gosh, really?
Actually haven't. But I've seen like clips.
It's So Gerard Butler actually gave an interview pertaining to it, and he said it was a very, very interesting social experiment. He said because a lot of the fans, and I won't spoil it for you at all, a lot of the fans had very genuine reactions, which surprised him personally. And so I was like, yeah, because it's a really well done film. Have you seen this one? Have you seen Rounders?
No.
Oh my word, that one either, huh?
No.
So
You'd
it's
be surprised by what I haven't seen. For everything I've seen, there's like, 3 movies that you would think that I've seen that I have.
right. No.
know?
Well, so there's this really weird movie. Came back out in 1991. Now Rounders came out, 97, but there's this really weird one. I don't think anybody has hardly ever seen it. I was a big fan of it, but again, my dad, he would go to the rental when we had Blockbuster and everything. And so we rented it, we took a shot, and they've actually abbreviated it now. It's called T2, but it was Terminator 2. Now, I don't think Sin is clued in whatsoever to that film, but
Oh no,
it's an awesome film.
not at all. Yeah, I don't think Sin has heard of Terminator. Doesn't know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is. Has no idea. And,
Well, he was a bodybuilder originally. Not many people know that,
something like that. I think he's like from Belgium or something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Somewhere out there in Europe,
He got onto something. He got onto some sort of Ozempic before it was ever invented, and that's why he looks like as he does now. So,
yeah.
No, but you've seen that one. But no, Rounders. This one, it did not do well at the theaters. But the problem is that you get this expectation, like we were discussing about these new independent films. You get Obsession. You get Redux, you get Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. I honestly think Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is going to be a classic later on down the road. I'm a big fan of Sam Rockwell. I think he is just a brilliant actor. He's very nice. And I haven't met him personally, but his interacting with others, he portrays himself very well. And so yeah, with that, I think the Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, I think that's going to become a classic later on. I don't think it's fully appreciated yet, but I think it will. So, but again, I'm not the brightest person either. So,
well, it definitely has cult classic written on it. I think there have been a few this year that could qualify. I miss the other, and I'm not saying like this was anything that I ever really had the chance to do or anything, but I miss the old days of having like these midnight movies, like going to movies, seeing like Evil Dead or Rocky Horror Picture Show. Apocalypse Now was actually another one back in the day with because we had, and you've probably heard me mention this before. Back in the day, we had this theater called the Fox Theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that was like the theater that would do that sort of thing. It would have, like I said, it would have Evil Dead. It would have all those like early Wes Craven movies, Godzilla triple features. They would bring back like the old school Disney animated films. There was something there for everybody, and it wasn't just them. Every theater did it, and every theater kind of had their own personality.
Oh yeah.
You had like the theater like the Fox that would have like the cool movies, Apocalypse Now played there so long that they actually painted a mural of the poster on the side of the building. You had like the Pine Haven that, you know, would have like all the Friday the 13th and would show like the Italian zombie films and Lucio Fulci and all that, you know, alongside like, you know, it's like some Porky's ripoff, like Screwballs or something like that. You know, it was that kind of theater. And because that was the theater that was in the black neighborhood. Yeah, so all the black kids would go there. You know, so all of that, like throwing stuff up on the screen if you didn't like what you were seeing and all that. Oh, no, don't go in there. You know, that's for real.
Oh, my word.
I've seen it, you know, and it was fun. You know, it was harmless. And, you know, and you would have like, you know, the Charlestown Square Mall where you would have that little 2-screen theater that would be right between a Walden Books and an Orange Julius.
Walden Books, yeah.
Perfect. You know, you could watch the movie, and then after that, you could go have a slice of pizza, and then go to Walden Books and buy the novelization. You know, and yeah, like I said, everything had a personality. You know, and then you had the art houses that kind of came in later, like this place that I would go to in the 90s called the Roxy. And that's where you had like what all did I see there? I know I saw Existence in them. But yeah, you know, they had like the art house theaters. I only went to a legit IMAX theater, I think maybe twice.
I only went just this last year.
There's one.
Yeah.
And that was in downtown Charleston, so it was a bit of a trek. Because it was literally like out on the coast. It was next to the aquarium, you know. It was literally look right over there and there's the Atlantic Ocean, you know.
Yeah, that's a distance. That's a drive.
So I actually saw Inception in there.
Oh, now how did you
Inception
like that?
was awesome on IMAX. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's see what, because it was kind of weird because they would show movies at the IMAX theater that you wouldn't necessarily think of for IMAX. Inception made sense.
Yeah, when they did Mercy, I wasn't too, engaged with that. It was good, but yeah.
I can't see some of these movies they put up on. But the thing is like I said, we don't have like a legit IMAX screen anymore. We have like the RPX, which is like the step, basically like a step down. It's just a bigger screen. That's really all it is. But I mean, seeing Inception on a legit IMAX screen was definitely a treat. But then they would do stuff that was like really weird. You know, I could see doing that. They did Inglourious Bastards on IMAX. I saw that.
That would be intriguing.
That makes sense
like
because that was 70 millimeter. So it kind of made sense. But then they would go around and do something like, okay, I saw Machete on an IMAX screen. It doesn't need to be on an IMAX screen. I mean, it looks great, but, you know, it's not the movie you would think of. Restrepo, which was a documentary.
The movie Heat.
Very good, but doesn't need to be on IMAX. The
movie Heat would
have been a perfect IMAX movie.
That would be great. That shootout scene would have been awesome to see. Oh man, yeah. It's It's and again, it's the idea of, I really believe they're running out of ideas, and so they're trying to up everything on how to get it more consumer driven. You know, this was when memes started first coming out, and one of them was one of them was a person going, "Can we all just agree that we're stopping at Blu-ray, please?" He goes, "I'm tired of buying the same copies of the movies that I love." You know, he's just like, "Can we all agree we're stopping at Blu-ray?" You know, like
Yeah.
it's now they're wanting to do they've gone with IMAX, they're going with 4K, and then went 4K Ultra, and then 4K Ultra HD. It's just like, dude, like you're continually beating a dead horse to a good film, So, yeah.
So Zodiac is a good movie. You say my dad saw Zodiac. I never got around to it, and I asked my dad, "What do you think?" He said he'd probably like it. I never really got around to it, and now I don't know if I want to sit through 2 hours and 42 minutes of Mark Ruffalo, but it's whatever. It's Fincher. Okay.
And to be, of course, when you, as the years have gone on and you see these actors who at that time you're seeing in their roles and you're like, okay, this is legitimate. And then years have gone by. Now we see him as, Bruce Banner. We see Jake Gyllenhaal as, different things. And so when you see them now acting in, you're like, man, they look like they're, 15 to 20 and they're doing this film. But the Zodiac was a really good one. Really good one. It was very in-depth. But yeah, now that, people are coming up with ridiculous opinions that ought to be thought better of, it's difficult to look at them as the character in the film, But yeah, Sashi, don't worry about not going to IMAXs. It's really not worth it anyway.
No.
You have to be very selective. But what Clue was saying about it, Toy Story 3 being awesome. Toy Story 3 was a good one. I really enjoyed Toy Story 2. I remember I watched the original a lot. Of course, this was when my little brother was much younger, so we were watching Toy Story a lot, just due to the ridiculousness of it, the comedy that was in it. It was just hilarious. And so, yeah. Now, what are your thoughts on Toy Story 5?
Honestly, never watched them past 1.
Have you not?
No.
Yeah. Is that another surprising revelation from the movie? But again, you are a passionate David Lynch man. So again, it's not overly surprising when you're going through the in-depth. You haven't even uncovered everything that Lynch wanted to do. So,
right. The Notebook on IMAX.
No, we're not doing that one.
No.
Not worth it. But yeah, the IMAX really isn't worth it unless you get something like legitimately good, like like what we were saying earlier. Just some of the films, man, you got to be wise with the choices.
Every movie does not need to be that. Every movie that is on IMAX does not need to be an IMAX release. It took away. This is going to sound weird, but they take away the specialness of it.
Yeah.
It should only be for select films. Like an Inception, like a Project Hail Mary. If you're going to put like some, random independent film with Tilda Swinton on like an IMAX film, which I'm so specific because that happened. And actually, it wasn't a bad movie for what it was, but it didn't need. it's like they need to be more selective about this stuff. And if you're going to make IMAX a big deal to me, actually build IMAX theaters and give people a reason to go.
Yeah. So this goes into, what happened recently at my theater. They upped the pricing of the refreshments and popcorn. It's like, are you intentionally are your workers not happy to be here? I mean, this is a voluntary job. You can choose not to work here and go someplace else. But it's like, why are you almost intentionally pushing crowds away? People are not going to want to buy the refreshments or anything. And so it goes into like what the movie The Prestige with our main man Batman. Who are we thinking here? Christian Bale. There we go. And Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman said it in the film about Christian Bale and about them being a magician. You can do magic tricks and you can make people very bored. This is why people don't like watching you do magic tricks at parties. It's just like, this is not the time or place. It is not a great, it's not working. However, if you are able to make this a great experience, make this something that's enjoyable, the people who have come into the country to watch the World Cup have been thrilled with how we, present ourselves and how the South is and various things. And so, theaters, like you were just saying, make it an attractive experience. Make it something that's desirable. I can tell you right now, Central America, Panama, and South America in general, they have movie theaters where you go and you have a dinner experience, and they actually have legitimate waiters, and it's not like the movie tavern that I have down the road. You're able to have this good dinner, and the film is included, like nearly free, because you're buying dinner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, $30. Yeah, I'll pay $30 to get I'll pay my $30 to get a giant burger with fries and the drink, and I get dessert and I get the film. Everybody's thrilled, and it's just like, yeah, we want to go there. We love this, and you get a little table and you have this entire experience. That's the point,
I did that once, and one opportunity that I had, again, downtown Charleston, wasn't there long, unfortunately, and it was I saw American Beauty and The Bone Collector in the same night.
Ooh.
So it was like 1999.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, this kind of, this place you could sit down, you could, I just kind of thought of it as the Roxy smaller, and only instead of being able to get like a pan pizza and a beer or some wine or something like the Roxy would do. This is the kind of place that you're talking about, where you sit down and there are tables and you could eat a dinner and whatever, And it's actually a pretty chill kind of place. Now with me, going to what Sashi is saying here, with me it's a little bit different, because I understand, it's the concessions, and it's like these popcorn buckets that they buy, that you can buy now. That's what keeps everything running.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real money comes from in the end. But I don't normally do that anyway. I'll just bring something from home, usually something to drink. I don't need a lot at a movie. Unless I get really hungry before I get there. But I don't really, and then I have the Regal Unlimited on top of it. So it's just, everything's really kind of paid for. beforehand, before I get there. So, unless it's an IMAX or something, then you'll have to pay a little bit extra. But, that's the thing that kind of made me change. What to me gauged a proper theater going experience was the fact that I was missing the fact that things were getting so expensive.
Yeah.
Because I was making one payment a month, basically bringing in my own concessions. So I was saving all of this money. But, and the fact that I'm going by myself in most cases. So, I was missing the fact that the ticket prices had gotten as high as they did. That the price of concessions have gotten as high as they have. That has happened because not enough people are going to the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because people aren't being given the incentive to go. And the thing is that this is all, and this is something that they don't realize when they go and they shoot their mouths off and they make these dumb political statements, and they feel that everything has to be, agenda, some kind of agenda, is they don't realize that they are causing this domino effect to happen.
Well, I think they do. I think a lot of them do realize it.
Maybe they do. I don't know. I'm really starting to wonder now. And I because I went from they got poisoned by this ideology and they don't know what they're doing, but they'll find their way back. Then Nolan fucking goes down, and then I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know where we're going with this now. And it really, because I'm a movie guy.
Yeah.
I love the movies. I used to want to be in them. I want to do a part of me still does want to be involved.
Well, this is
go ahead, please.
No. So this is exactly what I was sharing with Sin and Rachel before we had gone live on one of the mystery movies is, I can remember when going and renting films, going to the theaters, and it's like, well, streaming is killing it. No, not so much. Yes, that is a factor, but usually if you notice, when you have access and when you own the film, because I own it now, it doesn't make me desire to watch it every day or, immediately go for it because I have it. I have that access, so the streaming service is, yes, you have access to it. So a lot of times, because it's so readily available to you, it doesn't really inspire you to want to see it so much. It's like, oh, I have it, but I don't need to see it, right? It's okay. I have it for later. And so when we have this ability, these things, I can remember when trailers to the films kept you guessing and it inspired you to truly want to. And that's why, when I'm doing my channel, when I'm doing these, inspirational or promotional videos for a film, it's trying to remember and trying to bring back that memory of inspiring people to want to see that film again, to remember how phenomenal and how awesome the experience was. Pirates of the Caribbean. I can tell you right now, I was not a Johnny Depp fan. Was not. My dad goes, hey, he goes, have you seen Pirates of the Caribbean yet? And I said, no. He goes, and I said, Johnny Depp is in it. And that's, I can remember telling him that. I was like, I like him, but I've seen the movie Crybaby. I had seen other films that Depp had done, and I was just like, I'm not a huge fan of his way of doing it. And so he goes, no, no, no. He goes, he is completely unlike anything you've seen. He's like, you want to see Pirates of the Caribbean. And so my dad explains the opening scene, how he has his ship sinking and he just walks right off onto the platform. And so as we're watching it, Orlando Bloom is unheard of. Keira Knightley is barely on the A-lister stage at the moment. And so yeah, it was such a funny movie, and the experience and the enjoyment of it. It's like the Three Musketeers, the original Disney Three Musketeers with Sheen, Sutherland. That was a great depiction of the Three Musketeers. It had some action, it had violence, it had comedy, it had a good story. They built everything around it, and it was still something kids could watch and enjoy as a family. And so, great film. And so, yeah, those things. And yet now, in today's day, it's just like they're taking away the trailer mystery. They're just telling you what's in the film in the trailer. So it's just like, yeah, I don't need to guess what this is about. There's rarely a twist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's taken away the entire mystery. Like what Liam Neeson said, he goes, all of these Star Wars films are taking away the mystery and the mysteriousness of what the galaxy and what Star Wars was. This is why I love Rogue One so much, is because it almost held the essence of the original three, where there's some story there, where there is an actual fictional world that we wish we could be a part of. So yeah, it's hard. The ridiculousness of it. How come we do stream like, that's good. What
well, from time to time they do. I know in the Regal that I go to, they do show like a lot of these kind of Korean bands. There was a Billie Eilish movie a little while back that strangely no one went to go see. There was
strangely
that. Well, she's supposed to be like a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm told. Okay. Anyway, wow. Yeah, and you got an Oscar for like a song that was like 3 years old. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, and there's that. And they have they'll do like musicals, operas. I don't know how many people go to them. Every once in a while, they'll have like a UFC thing. Why don't they do it more? I don't know. They could. They might have to. I mean, if things keep going in the direction that they're going, I could see them. I think that's part of the reason why these revivals do so well.
Yeah.
I would rather go to, frankly, a revival now than I've been going to more and more of them as years go by.
Well, I'm loving how they are bringing back the anniversary films. So we got T2 coming out in August, and I plan to go see that one. I'm actually saving my popcorn points to be able to go and watch that. I'll probably do a double feature on that day, but yeah, like Clue was saying here, after the bandwidth was when you don't own a film, they can edit it. It's very true, because something I was doing was I was actually looking for the original Star Wars with the original explosions, because I don't like the newer versions with the newer explosions, or the fact that they add in scenes that they were deleted, and that those are the only ones you can get with Lucas. And I'm not a fan of it. It's just like, they suck.
Yeah.
You know, I like the originals. Now, funny enough, my father had a cassette tape, the VHS, and he had them all sequentially recorded. And I don't know where he got the recordings from, but I can remember watching those originals in sequential order on the weekends almost all the time, because it was just, it's Star Wars. You always watch you always watch them in order, and Return of the Jedi became one of my favorites, because you get Luke, who has finally come to this maturity position, and he's able to he has this entire setup and this plan, and the original battle with Jabba the Hutt and the entire choreography and everything, loved it, and you love that music when it's hitting. And so, yeah, it's just, those things are missing now, and a lot of people in Hollywood don't know how to capture those experiences anymore. They don't, you know, you just don't pick them up. And like she was saying, though, yeah, they're heavily edited and horrible now. Yep, Rogue One is king of the new stuff.
Agreed.
What was
Godzilla minus zero trailers, they're keeping things close to the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla -1 and Godzilla those add mystery. It's Godzilla, but it's like Jaws, because something that they clued into is, they didn't show you the monster immediately. They don't, they allow it to fester. They allow it to be a mystery. It's something that, and again, it's in the correct setting. They're not bringing it all back to the US. It's in the setting that it was originally in, which is great. So yeah, it's that mystery. It's that experience. It's like what you were talking about earlier. Make IMAX for IMAX, make the regulars for regulars, and let us enjoy it. It's supposed to be a family experience. I remember somebody had come out of the theaters here at Regal, and I can't remember what film it was. It was either The Iron Lung. It was something. Not The Iron Lung. No, this was something different, something that wasn't the greatest film. And they said they were underwhelmed by it. But you can tell the entire group had this hype around the film, and you could tell they had dedicated their time to one. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be bringing, the mystery and the enjoyment and the excitement to the theater. That's what people are wanting to use this as, reinvigorating their imagination. It's like what Herb said with the 1980 hockey team is, they're coming up with something known as Dream Team now. And he said he found that statement ironic, because you're hardly dreaming anymore when you're, manipulating the system in such a way. There's no imagination to, capture when things are so ridiculously done. The story just is horrible. It's abysmal, and there's no thought to it. It's just like, I just get them, man, just get them to spend money, and we'll figure it out later on. Yeah.
Remember the third to remove Trump from Home Alone 2? Well, second, because I have the DVD. Yeah, I mean, again, it's just these people being stupid. And because they have decided that they're going to hate this one man for whatever reason. That whole joke is him making fun of himself.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is the kid has no clue who he is.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. I don't know. It's like, guys, You are the ones who brought this man to the party. You know, lifestyles of the rich and famous. They used to talk about Donald Trump ad nauseum back in the day. You know, to the point to where I got a little bored with the guy. You know, and then he has the #1 show in the world with The Apprentice. But then he dares to run against Hillary Clinton.
And he did it wisely.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, you can't be upset at somebody for using their intelligence on what they're doing. And on top of it, you know, the only thing he did was go against the expectation.
Mhm.
And that's the annoyance, is that he went against expectations and it was just shock to the system. And from that point on, you know, it's been like, okay, well, now our new goal is to drag everything down. We're going to pitch a fit and we're going to fight and scream. Have you watched any of the World Cup?
Some of it.
Have you seen any of the players who intentionally throw themselves on the ground anytime they have the opportunity to?
Oh, they do that anyway.
This is exactly what's happening in real life. It's the opportunity to poke, and as soon as something takes place, you know, just immediately play the victim. And it's just it's, you know, and I've told plenty of people when they're watching, it's like, that is legitimately part of the game. You as a player have to know that that's what's going to happen, and you got to make a wise decision on never giving them the opportunity to. You know, you've got to outplay them mentally, and you got to outplay them, you know, with the ball. And so it's just what we're seeing in modern day. Most entertaining. That's very true. Shane Gillis, honestly, I think he's in his early stuff. He's becoming a little bit of a nuisance now. But in some of Shane Gillis's early stuff, he did some really good impressions and pointed out some of the things which made it even funnier. You know, and a lot of people I'm sorry, but he's not a politician, but he is awesome. So,
There's this explained to the aliens that celebrities hate Trump, and Trump had a #1 show called The Celebrity Apprentice. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The television show The Office actually references it. I mean, it was so common and so normal until he went against expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it's just ridiculous things. But yeah, no, it's been phenomenal with everything that's happening. And yeah, I agree. It's becoming, this idea of going digital entirely is I'm trying to think. And when it was brought up tonight, I was trying to think, what could they possibly stand to gain with losing half of their people that they don't care about? Because that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're losing half of your mainstream profits for what? What's the back thing that we're not seeing is my question. Because if 50% of people are wanting to leave Sony after, you know, and you said 500 and something games were being taken off streaming.
No. Films are being
the films
taken off streaming.
What platform is that?
That's Sony, because it's basically, there's a rights thing tied up with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are tied up with Studio Canal. And right now, this is a UK thing, but this could always happen here as well. And it's not the first time. In 2023, they pulled 239 films off the streamers.
Did they ever put them back?
No, of course not. So basically, but what goes down in this in this iteration is you lose the Spider-Man films, you lose Rambo because Studio Canal has the rights. So all the people that have gone on digital and bought all these films, you're out of luck. You don't own them. It's like Greg always says, you don't own these movies.
Yeah.
You lease them. They're long-term rentals.
That's all it is.
PlayStation UK, because Studio Canal's license expired. Sony didn't own the stuff they sold. This middleman. Basically, yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sashi pointed it out well. So I bet you Studio Canal has a backdoor deal with somebody else, and that's why they're taking them. They're gonna put Sony. They're gonna put Sony out of business.
Well, they're on their way to doing that anyway with the games, but.
Yeah, Sony's going to go out of business.
Oh yeah, Sony's done. Sony's screwed. Yeah. And thank you, Clue, for $5. In my opinion, streamers like Netflix are removing all IPs that do not check any boxes. Yeah. Sorry to break this to you, Netflix, but the first king of Norway was not a black woman.
What?
Sorry. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Cleopatra was not black. She was Mediterranean Greek.
And that's the thing. It's like they are acting like everyone over in the European countries originated, and it's just like, no. There are plenty of cultural ethnicities that are over there that have never been represented.
No.
And so it's just why are y'all wanting to destroy these things? And so anyway, I bet you there's a great point on Sashi's end though, and you had said something that sparked another idea. But yeah, you said they're going out of business anyway, and then the copy, and so. For me personally, with the Netflix and things, I am content with the things that I hunt for, and if I truly want it, I will get the physical copy, and I will grab because. But somebody had actually pointed out what you really want to get are the older science books because they hold a lot of valuable information that is also getting changed. So yeah, things about, obviously we're talking about movies. It's like selling a house you don't own and not returning the money when the real owner wants it back. Is that what you did, Sasha? This is how Sasha got his shop. No, I'm just kidding. Snow White was from Normandy. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have the slightest idea. Where did the dwarves come from? That's a good question.
My dad has old science textbooks. Well, I would advise hanging on to those.
Yeah. You really want to I've done research a little bit on it, but yeah, this is why I have collected a great bit of books, collect the films that I want. My collection methods are a little bit unorthodox because it spans over games, films, books, jerseys. So, people that I think, should be remembered. So, past memories. But yeah, man. So how's the venting been? Feeling any better?
I'm sorry.
How's your venting? The getting it all out on a Sunday night.
Oh, well, this week was interesting because basically, with unscripted, especially, is my topic kind of changed.
Hmm.
Because, well, it not so much changed, but it kind of changed angles. But at the same time, I was still getting to the same point in that I feel that we need to very seriously consider term limits as a thing. And not only term limits, age limits as well. Because we are, whether, like I said, whether you are for or against any of these politicians, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of them, but at the same time, it does get to the point to where it's like, where do you stop? When we have politicians who are like dying in office in their 80s and their 90s, there's got to be a cutoff.
The subject has come up a lot more recently than it has in previous generations, I believe. Or maybe I've just been watching and paying attention a little bit more. But, yeah, no, it's pretty evident. And again, there's only so much as a person can do. I know my dad did a lot to at least communicate through the proper channels with his representatives during his time. And so, yeah, it's, again, if enough voices are able to communicate what's happening, then eventually it could, but yeah, it's a very difficult time because we're already behind. We're behind on that process, So, but we have a positive.
We do.
Yes, we have Doctor Who coming up, which I'm excited about.
We do. Yes.
I'm pumped. Troy, the Tuesday nights, I do want to say this because I love saying it. Tuesday nights are some of my favorite evenings. Now, I love discussing the mystery movies because those are fun. But I'd never gone through Twin Peaks fully, much less heard of it until we started doing the chronological streaming with it. And then doing the Sherlock events. Now, during the school year, every now and then, I accidentally fall asleep all the time to watching them. But yeah, dude, the Sherlock events, the Tuesday evening with Twin Peaks, it's just so enjoyable. Like one of the best. It literally is like getting with a close-knit group of friends and traditionally just not enjoying Twin Peaks, but not worrying so much about it as it is the camaraderie, which is just something I love. So yeah, I mean, chatting with Sashi, chatting with Clue, chatting with Miss Connie, chatting with JP. You get Tim, you get Nate, everybody that's getting in there. So much fun, so much enjoyable experiences. So yeah, love doing that.
Let's not waste any time getting people to it then. All right. So, Enigma, let everybody know you have. We barely even talked about the fact that you have your own channel and you do have content. Let's very quickly go into that and your whatever future plans you might have.
So, one of the big things I love doing is inspiring people to love the films that I love. You know, a lot of the films that I show on my channel are the ones that I want people to enjoy, want people to see. I'm trying to use the music to inspire them to go see it. So when I'm making these short edit videos, it's trying to send them the inspiration. And so I can remember my sister had said once that, you know, she was like, I loved your Pirates of the Caribbean video. It really made me want to go and watch them again. And so she went and she did that. And so she said one of them was a struggle to get through. And I said, yeah, that's, you know, but once you get to this third one, once you get to this other one, you will love the inspiration behind it. And so, you know, that's what I hope to communicate, because there used to be trailers that had this great music and had this great inspiration to go and watch it. You know, that was the entire point of it. And so, you know, you're trying to recapture that idea. And so for you, coming up, if you guys have requests, I'd love to try and make a video that you may feel passionate about. I know Sashi has a lot of great films that I probably haven't gone through. A more recent one that I was considering doing was The Furious. It just has so much action in it, but I don't know what song to put it to. And so you always got to pick a really good song that can kind of encapsulate. So the most recent one I did was Terminator, and that was an easy setup hit to give to Sin, because she loves those films. And so but yeah, I had found a song and it said, "Why me?" And you know, the lyrics in the song actually communicate from a position of Sarah Connor herself. And so I thought it was a great song to put to it. And it just hit one day. And so I was like, oh, Sim would love if I had made this. And so ended up doing that just for the enjoyment of it. But, you know, if you have really awesome films that you're passionate about, I'd love to make a little tribute to it, or even a song that you think would work with it. And I will do my best. But some people have some outlandish ideas. Somebody had suggested I put a some weird song to Harry Potter, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't identify. I don't like the song. I think the song does not work with the film setup. And so I was like, I'm not doing that. But yeah, I'll do my best if I can. But yeah, that's so ultimately, if we're doing around the horn right now, I got a presentation this month with Miss Rachel, and she's going to be sharing all of the films she saw in the month of March. And so we're going to be discussing those and giving our ideas on it. And then with Mr. Proctor File, if anybody is aware of Proctor File, we're going to be on his channel, and I'm actually going to be discussing a couple films that I don't think get a lot of attention, and some of those are spy films. So, have you ever seen Spy Game?
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, Spy Game is, I think, one of the best spy movies, fictional, but I think one of the best spy movies that interacts with politics in a very, very real way. And so, yeah, I was a big fan of that film. Love the story, love the fiction behind it. And so, yeah, we're most likely going to be discussing that, as well as a couple other films that probably don't get the love that they need to, but basically spy based. Ronin being another one.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know you're a fan of that one. Love Ronin. Jean Reno in that film. Love The Professional. Loved him in that one. And so when Jean Reno was with De Niro in this one for Ronin, oh my gosh, big time fan, big time. Love the underlying storyline that's going on through it. Just really good film. So yeah, based on the movie.
And Qapla', to our resident Klingon, Mark Malikoff's on his way to Troy's channel. Yes,
Yeah.
as are we.
Yep.
In fact, we are going to go ahead and close it out right here. Ronan was awesome. Great car chaser, indeed. All right. So, as for myself, of course, stay tuned. If you are a member of Troy Pacelli's channel, you can join us tomorrow night for Members Night at the Movies by request. No retreat, no surrender 2. Oh, dear Lord. Well, we'll see. The trailer already looks better than the first movie, so might not be too bad. Of course, Tuesday at 8:30 will be the next episode of Live from Sparkwood 21, where I'll be joined by Troy Netter and Boomer.
Yeah.
Of course, no, wait, even before that, 5:20 p.m. Eastern, I will be joining Outlaw Bill for a special episode of Action Theater, where we will be watching the 40th anniversary of Aliens. Yes.
I'm going to be there for that. You love that film.
Right on. And hopefully I will be there too, because I keep forgetting about it. And yes, so yes, and of course, I don't know if we're doing anything Thursday yet. Stay tuned. But I will be on later that night for coming attractions. We get to find out what I'm going to be doing next week. And I know I got a couple of appearances on Films with Friends coming up, so stay tuned. I'll be talking more about that. All right, so we're going to send everybody over to Troy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a hard out. Any last words before we go, Enigma?
Go and enjoy some movies. Go and enjoy them.
Sean Bean didn't die in that one. No,
Yeah, no.
Even though he was originally supposed to, but he didn't.
Cowardly sent off.
Yeah. 60th anniversary of Ultraman as well. Yeah, this year. Yes, indeed. Okay. So as I always say at the end of every broadcast, thank you all for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. From HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night. Take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.
Bye, guys.